All right, so how's it felt to kind of be out there and I guess be healthy, being able to practice consistently? What's that been like?
It's been fun, just to be back out here and doing what I love to do, and just to not think about that and not have to think about being hurt or being injured, and just to fly around with the guys. The intensity of, I'm just really enjoying it. I'm happy.
What was last year frustrating for you, I'd imagine?
Yeah, it was really frustrating. In the outside world, they don't really see what goes on behind the walls. So for me, I just wanted to do my part. And having injuries keep nagging at me, and it makes it hard. But you just got to keep going and just being there for the guys and keep everything in fact.
What was the most difficult part of last year? You mentioned that the injuries were nagging, so they kind of kept popping up. Was there a certain point where it was just a particular low point for you?
It wasn't like a low point because I had the whole organization behind me, Coach Norvell, and talking to me every day, just being behind my back. So it was just like I was just trying to do my part the most I could. But in each internal, it was just frustrating because I know I could play better and I could do things, and you can't really show it because of the injury. So that's the hardest part.
How challenging was that? Not only dealing with that, but then on top of the pandemic with everything going on.
Yeah, it was a whole bunch of that, and then you just gotta go with it. Nobody really knew any answers, so you just roll with the flow, and just our coaches put us in the best position. So I was just really leaning on them and just doing what they asked of me and just doing my part.
Kind of transitioning to camp, how do you feel the defensive backs have done just as a whole so far this preseason?
We're real young. I'm the oldest guy in there, so I just try to show them some things that I've learned along my way. And then as far as the transition, I feel like the young guys coming along well. I talk to them, and any questions they need, any help they need, I talk to them. And then I feel like everybody just gelling together, learning the system and doing their part.
Specifically Kevin Knowles and then Hunter Washington, both those guys seem really competitive. I guess, what do you see from them on a consistent day in, day out basis?
Yeah, they're real competitive, and then them two guys that'll be great in the long run. And then they ask a lot of questions. They want to learn, they want to get better. So that's something good that you can expect out of them. In the long run, I feel like they'll be two great players.
How beneficial has another year under Adam Fuller and Coach Woodson, in the system? How beneficial has that been for you specifically?
For me specifically, you coming in. Last year I came in kind of on the fly, trying to learn it, and assuming it was going to be my last year. You try to do the best you can. But just with two years and just having this extra year, it really slowed down because I knew it for sure, and now I could teach the guys, the younger guys, like I said, stuff they don't know. So it just helped. It's a big transition, but it helped.
What's the biggest difference? I see you move different cornerback spots and play different roles. I guess what's the biggest difference from saying playing field or boundary or slot? How does your mindset approach when you play each role differently?
For me, when I'm in the field, you thinking deeper routes. The routes in the field gonna transition longer. As far as in the boundary, a lot of times quarterbacks gonna look off safety, so you're gonna be in a lot of one-on-one matchups, a lot of deep shots, and you're really battling. So when you're in the boundary compared to the field, you're really thinking okay, I'm gonna go to war. And then as far as the slot, you're gonna get a lot of quicker guys, quicker routes. In the boundary, like I said, it's gonna be a lot of big guys, one-on-one matchups. So that's kind of the mindset you gotta have when you're going to them different spots, knowing who you're gonna get. So that's the biggest part.
How do you go about preparing for that? Like you said, you might go against a bigger guy at some spots, quicker guys. How do you kind of get yourself ready to change, I guess, between practice to practice, a different role?
As far for me, sometimes I like when we're doing one-on-ones, I might go match up with guys like tight ends, or I'd have Parchment come over there. Guys like that I know I see in the boundary. And then certain reps, you'll be like, okay, I'm gonna get some slot guys with Keyshawn Johnson. Or after practice, you get a little reps. Or in the locker room, we're talking about certain stuff they're looking at. So I know for me what will help me.
How ready are you for Notre Dame? How excited are you for that night crowd and that environment?
I'm very excited. I just want to be well prepared, and I feel like the coaches is putting us in those positions. So I just want to keep building on that and just getting ready for that night.
How confident would you say the team is heading into that game?
Like you said, I feel like we're very confident, but we just really have to keep learning and doing our part, and then just put it all on the line when the day comes.
You mentioned Keyshawn. How different does he look this year compared to last year? Now that he's a year further away from his injury and everything.
Oh yeah, he's a different guy. Right now, we talk, we right there next to each other in the locker room, so I ask him a lot of stuff. He's one of those guys. He come to work every day, and then he's always pushing to be better or learn something new. And he asks me questions as well about stuff I look for from the defensive perspective. So with him, it's just he's one of those guys that's going to come every day. He's going to be prepared. He's going to do the little things. So as far as that transition, I feel like he's on top. He's feeling better. He's moving better, and you can see it in his play.